students. Let's start our online science class. So, we are in chapter 10 Light and Shadow. In our previous class, we already learned some facts on this chapter on light. We already know that uh, light, there are some natural sources of light and there are some artificial sources of light, and there are some objects through which light passes. They are transparent, translucent, and opaque objects. Okay, water is a transparent object, cardboard box opaque, and butter paper translucent. Okay, so and we already learned that light travels in a straight way. Okay, it cannot bend around objects. When the path of light is blocked by an object, light changes its direction. Now, today we will learn about shadow. Okay, so shadow, you know that when an object, an opaque object comes on the path of a light, then a shadow is formed. The light travels in a straight line, you know. Also, light does not bend while traveling through a given medium. When an opaque object comes in front of it, it blocks the path of light, forming a dark patch. Here you can see in this picture, here is a boy, okay, and the sunlight is coming from behind him, and as a boy, it is a human body is an opaque object. So here a shadow is formed. Here is the light and the boy and a shadow. Okay, so a shadow always, we already learned that a shadow always formed in the direction opposite to the direction of the light. When we block the path of light, the shadow of our body is formed. In this picture, you can see it. Have you observed your shadow forming on the ground on a sunny day? Yes, do you know? Next, I'm telling you that a transparent object does not form shadow. A light, water or something does not form shadow because it allows light to pass through it completely. A translucent object forms a faint shadow because it allows light to pass through it partially, and an opaque object forms a dark shadow because it does not allow any light to pass through it. Okay, so now I'm telling you the condition for the formation of a shadow. You know, the things which are essential for the formation of a shadow: a source of light, here you can see source of light, an opaque object, a screen surface behind the object. Here you can see the source of light, the opaque object comes in the path of the light, and the shadow is formed here on the screen. So these three objects is essential for forming a shadow. A shadow is not formed if any of the above mentioned thing is missing. If the light is missing, then no shadow will be formed. If there is no opaque object, no shadow will be formed. So mostly a wall or ground acts as a screen. That is why shadows are often formed on walls or ground. So here is some pictures in this page. You see, here is a teddy bear and the wall behind the teddy bear and the light in front of the teddy bear. A larger shadow when the toy is close to the light. A smaller shadow when the toy is little further from the light. And tiny shadow when the toy is too far from the light. Okay, now I'm telling you the characteristics of a shadow. A shadow has the following characteristics. No shadow is formed when there is no source of light. A shadow is always formed in the direction opposite to the direction of the light. The color of the shadow is always dark, irrespective of the color of the object. The color of the shadow is always dark. Okay? A shadow shows only the dark outline of the object and not its details. We can't see any face when it forms a shadow. We can see only the outline, isn't it? And the size of the shadow depends on the distance between the light source and the object, the distance between the object and the screen. So, next point is a shadow cannot be obtained without a screen. A shadow does not have a fixed size throughout the day. It is longer than the object in the morning and evening but shorter during the afternoon. The shadows are the shortest during noon when the sun is over our head. Here in this picture, you can see here the sun. We can see that the sun always. You know that sun always rises in the east and sets in the west. When it rises in the east, here it is a rod. You can see when the sun rises in the east, the shadow of the stick. This stick is long and it points to the east, and the shadow is at the shortest length during noon. During noon, the sun is on our head, so the shadow always be short, always shortest, and the shadow is long and points to the west when it sets in it is in its setting time, when it sets in the west. Okay, so these all are about shadow, and this much for our today's class. And in our next class, we'll learn about some more facts on this chapter. Okay, so till then, bye.